Hi, I'm Rob the Accountant. I like to help people build companies while finding solutions to problems that may come your way. Have a question? Stop by robtheaccountant.com, scroll halfway down the page, and drop me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. How's everybody doing? Well, okay, so I got a lot to go over with you guys today. First, I've been trying to do, oh hi Sammy Bear. I've been trying to get these candle bowls glazed up. Some new mugs glazed up for the holidays. You can go to amyspottery.com. We also have some candle warmers there. I'm also the part owner of Amy's Pottery and more. But what we got here is we've got some chambray from Standard Ceramic. It's a beautiful blue glaze, and it's just, I've been having a hard time when I mix it to get the blue to come out the way I want. So I've gone with a little bit less water. It's normally 15 ounces to 16 ounces of dry powder. So I've got 14 to 16. And we're gonna see how that works. And as I'm doing that, what I wanted to do, just because, part of this pottery thing here is, why I'm doing this today on Rob the Accountant channel is because, the thing with YouTube is it's cool and all, but see, like, I'm an action-oriented person, right? So I can talk, and I can talk on subject matters that I'm interested in, but on the other hand, in terms of speaking on things where there's like a problem or you're having a discussion with somebody, I don't want to continue to have a discussion if it doesn't lead to a solution. To me, it's just we spend so much time on the details and the minutia, and all the things that don't matter, that we don't take the time to just get the project done. And I was on LinkedIn the other day and somebody threw a video and they said what's most important with all businesses at the end of the day is execution, and you have to be able to execute. And so if you're not able to execute, then everything else is just irrelevant. So the reason I'm saying that is because in terms of Happy Monday, I don't really find it as being something where it's providing solutions to people. So one of the things I really love about pottery is that you can make something. Like, these are going to be candles soon. And I'm just worried about, every time I do a video and I edit it later, I just don't want glaze powder in my nose through the whole video. I don't really edit it, and I'm not able to redo videos once I've cut them. So I want to get these cups done, and I want to just talk to you about the state of politics, because right now I'm just in a standby mode. As people know, I do still think I would like to run for president in 2028, but I've got my eye on New York and the governor. I also have my eye on some intricacies that I've seen with some of these apps, these gig apps, and how they treat people. So I'm going to be writing some letters here to my Attorney General and to the Department of Labor of New York State here in the next couple days, articulating how I feel that some of these apps are violating people's rights in terms of classifying them in a manner that says they're an independent contractor, but they're really treating them like an employee. And it's just really disheartening to hear some of these stories from people, and how people are being kicked off platforms for various things that they really have no control over. So that's on one front. I'm just going to sit back and see where this election goes, and hold my breath for the next 4 years like everybody else. But in saying that, I also want to talk about just a couple things relative to the position of the Democratic Party. For example, Ms. Harris spouts a lot that she's going to give everybody $50,000 for a home, and you'll be able to have money for a down payment. But for a whole segment of the economy, and I really hate to go this way because we have so many laws in real estate regarding redlining, race baiting, what you can say, what you can't say, that a lot of people think that because you have all those rule structures in place that things don't happen. But what I know happens is, like, for example, if you have a house in any metropolitan city and it's not like the part of the metropolitan city where, you know, all the business is conducted, meaning that it's not where, you know, the people from the suburbs are coming to work. And you have this big, beautiful Victorian home. Let's just say it's like 3,000 square feet, right? But whether you're in Detroit, or you're in Chicago, or you're in Harlem, when the bank sends people out to value your home, for some reason, even though they're not allowed to redline, they find a way to say that your beautiful home is worth nothing. Whereas if this home was in any of the surrounding suburbs of where your home is, it'd be probably worth $1 million or more, maybe $500,000 more. And, you know, so what we have is we have redlining and appraising. And then what we also have is that for a large component of the people, they can't qualify for a mortgage to begin with. You know, you have to have a job for usually 2 to 3 years, the same job. You can't have something that's different. You have to have the same income. Your debt to income ratio has to be substantial, meaning that it has to be generally under 40%. But the problem with that is they require you to have 3 or 4 trade lines. Those are things like your car loan, your credit card, things that are rating you to be able to get the credit. So you're in this endless trap. And so, you know, the whole idea that you're going to give somebody $50,000 for their home is just stupid. And who's paying for it? Like, where's the idea of having a conversation that the overall structure of the federal government is so bloated that as a whole the taxation is just overburdensome to everybody? We don't have that discussion. I know Trump goes in there and says he's going to cut taxes for everybody, but really you and I know that most of the taxes that are going to get cut will go for corporations and rich people. So it's just, you know, I just prefer you shouldn't lie to people. You shouldn't tell them you're going to give them $50,000 because your intention to give them $50,000 when you know that realistically nobody's going to be able to qualify for the $400,000 or $500,000 mortgage to get the stupid freaking $50,000, then you're just blowing shit up people's asses. You know, that's all you're doing. You're just saying stuff that's unrealistic, sort of like you're going to pay off everybody's student loans. Again, you know, I've got student loans. It'd be great if somebody just, you know, I felt entitled for somebody to swoop down and pay off my loans, but I took out those loans. I signed those papers. It's my responsibility, and I have friends who took out those same loans, have those same signatures on the loan documents, but they paid theirs off for whatever reason. I haven't paid mine off. But what makes us different? I'm just a slow pay. They're not. So, you know, but they don't ever talk about, you know, why are we paying this off? Why are we paying people's debt off who go to school to party? Most tuition at most colleges is only $3,000 or $4,000, but people take out $15,000, $20,000 a semester because they got to live on campus. And they need money to live on campus. So I just, you know, that's my one beef on economics realistically is why she keeps lying, because nobody's going to get the $50,000. Nobody's going to qualify for the mortgages because housing isn't there. What they really should be doing is giving people money to buy land outside of the city so that they can go buy land and at least own some land. And then at a later day, maybe they could leverage their land to put a house on it, right? So they could, if you gave everybody a tax credit to buy land, then people would start to have freedom because they would actually own something, right? They would own the land that is theirs, and their taxes would be very small because there's no home or there's no structure on that property yet. So, you know, why don't we offer some credits so people can buy land in competing areas, and thus they can build their homes somewhere else. And thus, since all the local communities will be subject to all these people having money to buy land somewhere else, maybe they'll find some ways locally to enact some type of pressure to bring prices down. But the government as a whole can't control prices in a constitutional republic. It just can't happen. You can't go tell Walmart what to sell something for, and you can't identify a product and say, hey, you know, you must pay X for it. It's just not how we operate here. So the other thing is I'm really getting tired of the democracy argument, okay? It really is. It's just getting, it's just, first of all, you know, these people act like, so I'm going to have to just, on this, is going to have to move quick on this while I'm talking to you because I want it to all absorb in, and I actually want this. I feel like it's still a little bit too wet, so I only fired these to cone 5. I didn't go to cone 4 because I wanted a little bit more absorption because I'm having a problem with the color coming through. So, but anyways, the democracy argument is getting old, and so is the abortion argument. Okay, so democracy trumps abortion, in my view, and the people who are against democracy are the people who have instilled Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee when nobody voted for her. They voted for Joe Biden, and you guys used the 25th Amendment to kick him off, and it was only possible because the number 2 went in there. And the other thing I want to talk about here is back to the housing thing. You know, and I'm going off YouTube commentators on this one, folks, so I'm just going to regurgitate here. But Kamala Harris always talks about her mom buying a house that she bought, you know, her first house, but she doesn't say where she bought that house. And I'm not saying that, you know, it matters, okay, but it does matter because you can buy a house in America in all 50 states, and I don't have a problem for it. I don't have no problem with that. But you know, she goes around and touts that she her mother bought a house, but she bought her first house in Canada. And I just, you know, I mean, if you're an American, do you? I mean, listen, I think we're all Americans if you're born here, but I'm just saying, if you're saying you're an American and you want to run for president, and you're going to tote your mother's home ownership, shouldn't she have at least bought a house in America, like the one that you're talking about? So it's just one more fake imposition, and you know, some people are going to believe it because, you know, they're everybody's just so whatever they feel about Trump. And yet the funny thing is Trump's not in office right now. So he did in fact leave, right? So he did leave. And, you know, the idea that he's probably not going to leave again, or he is going to leave again, is just, I mean, when we elect a new president, the new president shows up, the old president goes. I just, you know, nobody really ever explains to me this idea of how the new guy is coming in and the old guy won't leave, and the authority and transfer of power has been given to the new guy. I mean, doesn't he just evict him? Do you have to evict the president, or you just go in there and kick his ass out? I don't know. So those are my beefs today. All right. So what I'm gonna do on this when I pour it in here, because these are all gonna have to get 2 coats. I'm just gonna throw this in here real quick, scrunch it up real quick, and because my clay is going to absorb a lot of this water from the glaze, and you know, I want some of this blue that, as you can see, it's actually white, but it comes out blue. I want it to really get in there. So we're going to be doing a lot of glazing today, I think, because I didn't make it so that this was going to be done dipping style. So there we go. We got one there. So what I think I'm going to do each time is I got to get ready to stir it again, and that's, you know, I think I could have. I don't think they really gave me a pound of thing, or I don't know. Maybe my water measurement was off on the scale. It clearly said 14, but I don't know. So anyways, again, to wrap it up, the $50,000 on the house is utter bullshit. All right, so we all know that. It's just BS. And we should stop saying the other side's against democracy when the person who's at the top of the ticket didn't receive any votes. So those are my issues right there. And darn it, I'm gonna get my hands are gonna get all. This is the problem with these kind of things. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna have any time frame relative to the to the YouTube channel, and I think we're just gonna call it Rambling with Rob, because I'm gonna have a lot to say over the next 4 years, and just because I'm out of it right now, because there's just really no reason to get in the fray. Everything that everybody's saying on YouTube and everything they're saying about Kamala Harris, and Trump, you know, I was saying a year ago, over a year ago, and you know, I just see things differently than people do, but you can only provide so much noise to a situation, you know, and right now there's nothing anyone can do to stop where we're going with this election. So the only thing we can possibly do at this stage is vote. And you know, I'm not voting for Harris, and I am going to vote for Trump, and I don't really care whether it hurts my positions down the road, because even though Trump is not the most nicest person in the world, I think I prefer somebody who knows how to speak and doesn't speak in isms to getting things done. And you know, Miss Harris was in charge of the border for the last 3 years. She doesn't want to acknowledge it. You know, it's her thing that she messed it up. It's her thing to have. But for me, why I will not vote for her is because when she had the chance to honor the Constitution and not go after her own people, who she claims, you know, she's black, she actually went after her own people, and she had to be overturned a lot on it. And then she got all pious about that, you know, she went after people and that she's prosecuted and she's happy with all that. So I don't think anyone who, you know, locking up people as a platform or any of that is, you know, that's not who I want. I want somebody who's going to uplift people. And generally, when you're, you know, there's going to be always a criminal component of everything, of any situation where there is a criminal component where there's organized crime. But for a lot of crime, it's reflective of the situation that we live in America. We have poverty, we have people hooked on drugs, we have people in desperation. And in that regard, our government should not be finding ways to lock people up indefinitely. And in all reality, even if you are a prosecutor and your job is to protect the people of your community, my view is your first job is to protect the Constitution and to protect everyone's rights. That's always your first job. So that was not her first job in California. And you can go to many videos, from guns to whatever her other positions are in California, because it doesn't really affect me. I'm in New York. But you can see her positions in California on every single issue. She's just on the opposite side. She's just not on the side of, I mean, she's on the side of people in California because they're all nuts in California. I'm sorry, they just are. You know, anyone, when they had a chance to get rid of Gavin Newsom, they chose not to. And he just signed a bill for parents to not be informed of anything. He just took parental rights away in California. Probably because he's mad because he didn't get the nominee for president. But, you know, these people, they just, you know, they, somewhere, I don't know where they're learning all this stuff, what colleges folks go to, but the colleges I went to were always about, you know, enforcing individual rights and protecting, you know, your right to be an asshole. And even if you, you know, yeah, your right to be an asshole in this government and in our country, and nobody else's right to impeach you. That's your right. You know, as long as you're not hurting anyone and, you know, you're not stealing or doing something to infringe on somebody else's property, you have a right to speak however you want, and your government's not allowed to infringe upon you. I think that's beautiful. That's the way it should be. So, so with that regard, I'm gonna name this Rambling with Rob. There'll be no set schedule. They'll just be, actually whenever I feel like there's an issue that has to be spoken about, which who knows. I feel like the whole issue chasing right now is, nothing ever gets done, people. It's just the same thing over and over again. So it's like you can talk to your blue in the face, but if nothing changes, I think my old partner said that to me, thing, nothing changes, why speak on it? Well, you speak on it to try to get change, but more often than not, collectively, we don't institute the change that as a country, as a whole, we want as a population, because we let our political leaders stand in between us and divide us. And when we're divided, we can't force them to do anything. So, that's just really the truth of it. So, whatever. So here we go again. We're gonna pour another one, and so you can see why this is tedious. Where, do you see that shake out? I don't know what that is. Sometimes when I try to balance something at a certain point, it almost is like a Parkinson's shake. I don't know, dear me. So don't. I'm not, I'm not really one of those people. I just want to live, and whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna, one of my boys always says, "Oh, we'll see how that is when it's your time to get saved." Well, you know what? It's all relative to the position. What I have to do, what I gotta spend to save myself. All right, I feel like I've had a pretty good life. Could have been better. Everybody's life can be better, but sometimes you gotta be thankful for what you have. And I'm pretty cool, pretty happy with that. I've got my tax practice is moving to we're getting a new location on Transit Road here in the next month or two. Just waiting on that to finalize. We're moving the donut shop to Niagara and Amherst. Gonna try to put a little bit of a kick on Paula's Donuts out there. Try to make something happen there. So just some good opportunities coming up, and I'm gonna try not to squander them, and see if I can bring you folks along for the ride. And then we got this, the pottery. It just doesn't ever go away. We just keep moving it, because my goal is to get the store to the point where it can just have other potters contributing, maybe selling their stuff on consignment through our site, selling all the holiday stuff like the candle warmers and getting those made. So I want to be in the facility of producing stuff. I tell everybody we're all going to be driving or working at a restaurant in the next 10 years. So it's just better to figure out how to do something now so that you can do something, so you have something to do later. Now when I get some glaze like that over there, I can take a cloth later and I can wipe that off, and I probably will. So I'm going to have to put 2 coats on this. I'm only going to bore you guys probably with 28 minutes. So that's where this camera dies, and I'm really excited on what these are going to look like on this red base. The clay is from Laguna, and I didn't research the name of it when I started the video. So we'll get that in there, and we'll just throw this up here. So how are you guys doing this week? Did you guys have a good week? Any plans for the weekend other than football games? How are the kids? Are they playing sports? What do we got? We got to have a lot of sports right now. We got wrestling, football. So there you go. Let's get it in there, and I want it to absorb, because that's what it's doing in the bisque mode. It's just absorbing all this color. And hopefully I'm not gonna get it too thick. That's why I'm brushing on it. There it is again. See that? Just because my hand wants to hold it, but it's at a ball part within my fingers. Boom. All right, and we keep moving. There it is again. See that? So I can't apply. That's crazy. But then if I change it. So It's just I don't think your hands aren't used to grabbing like this so often, so let's try to get this done here. See, it's just all about how the body's very unique. See, it's like, now it's heavy again. For some reason when the position changes in the gravity, which shouldn't shift at all because it's the same gravity, just one way I start compulsively shaking, and the other way is now when we can manage it. Oh, hi Sammy. The dog just came back underneath me. Alright. Oh, missed some stuff. Boom. Look at that. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw that interview with Mark Cuban. So I guess he thinks he's going to get a cabinet position if Kamala Harris wins. And, you know, here, it's just like one more of those ironies, right? The Democratic Party for the working people, but, you know, they got billionaires who are waiting in line to get into an administration. They haven't even won the vote yet. They haven't even won anything. And I mean, I like Mark Cuban. I think he's great, but I'm just saying I just didn't really care for the billionaires in Trump's cabinet. I'm not really sure that just because you're a billionaire, that gives you some insight on how to help the people. Generally, that whole idea of you being a billionaire. So basically, 1 second, we're gonna take a break and reset our video. Thank you. Alrighty, we're back. Let me just clean up a little bit of this mess. So as you can see, I got 3, 4, 5 done. And it looks like about 28 minutes rambling with you folks. So on that notion, Rambling with Rob, as I said before, will condense this first Rambling with Rob, I guess. We're just doing it through Amy's Pottery infrastructure here. And let's get this stirred up again. Now, before I glazed them all, I wiped them all down with a cloth. These cloths, wiped them all down so we got all the clay dust off, so we make sure nothing's affecting our glaze. Even though glaze is in fact clay, the powdered aspect can sometimes cause, in my view, things happen to me, the glaze to jump off. Now, I'm not an expert on the science of glazes, so everybody can flame on or say whatever they want. I just, see, look at that, I just shit down, and up like that I can manage. It's just one of those weird things. So here we go, let's get this guy going. And I want to make more like this. I was trying to get a tool to do it, but you know, I am primarily an accountant, and I only have so much time outside of my season, which is generally January till probably about middle of May, and then September until about December, because we're in healthcare and taxation, and we got to close out companies their books and their year-end process. So we get prepared for that, or I get prepared for that generally in October, and I know a lot of other people do as well. It's just better to be prepared for the last minute walkthroughs. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this video and then let these dry, and so that when I put the second coat on, because I'm only going to do a second coat. So the bowls will be candles. I was doing soy, but I'm going to be honest with you, the soys just don't smell as nice. And so my friend goes, well, you're going to poison people with paraffin. And I guess that's somewhat true, but we're poisoned every day of the week. One more to make your house smell nice, have a beautiful candle. I don't think it's a problem. So neither does Yankee Candles. So we get this all knocked out here. My left hand also is not my dominant hand, so it's much weaker, but more refined. I wonder if how many other people have that, like your one hand is stronger, but your other hand has more refinement to it. Alright, so boom, let's get that in there and pour that out. Cup. Now when you're dipping these, which is what I really wanted to do, but I just don't want to make up so much glaze, I have a tool that grabs them and doesn't get my hands all dirty, so that I don't, it's just a dunk and you're done. And then you can just wipe off, unlike this when I'm having to paint every single thing on here, which isn't terrible. Just gives me something to do. Boom. And then as you start to get on it, you can start thickening it. And if I wet this, let's say I didn't like the glaze, I didn't like how it laid on, I could get a sponge and take off a lot of it and then just let it dry back out and glaze it again. I don't refire things, so I haven't done that process. The other thing I'm not a fan on brushing with is that since the glaze dries so rapidly, you don't get to see the consistency of what, you know, how many coats you're putting on, where when it's just thrown in a bucket full of glaze, the consistency is all the same and relative. So come on, Sammy. Come on, Sammy, over here. Come on. Be a good boy. Good boy. It's okay. So, be a good boy. Come on video. Good boy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So there we go. Get this one going here. I still don't believe the first 5 took 29 minutes. It's like, holy cow, how did that even happen? It doesn't, like when you're sitting here and doing it, it's just like, you don't even feel like the time is,
And I think that's probably why people enjoy pottery. It's just very relaxing, and you're producing something. And it's something I enjoy too, for that same reason. It's just nice to know what's this going to come out, what somebody's going to buy it for, are they going to give you some money for it, are they not going to give you some money for it? It's the basic aspect of business. Like, doesn't get any more raw than this. All right. See these bowls. We'll just do them this way. We don't have to put so much pressure. There we go. I think I'm gonna get Chinese tonight. Yeah. It's been a while. I normally don't eat out a lot, because I'm older now, and I don't know. Certain food makes me feel like crap. I don't know. Just better to eat healthy food. You have less chance of having to go see the doctor and all this stuff. It's better to be healthier, but tonight I think I want some Chinese food. I'd probably wait in line, but it's okay. No! Excuse me. Oh, got some drips. Maybe I like this because when I had my auto body shop, it's just so cool to paint cars and see something that went from complete garbage to completely restored. And it's just cool when you know you're part of that process. Hey, you know the other thing too, because I'm not gonna bore you with the last two bowls. I'm gonna cut the video here, but if you get a chance, there's this guy I watch, Taino, Taino, Taino. I know it's a Puerto Rican thing from the island, Taino Indians. But Taino Inc. He's a cool dude. He's got a screen printing channel. I like him. He makes some good food down. He's in the city, New York City. I think he's, I don't know, Bronx or Brooklyn, whatever. He's just a cool Puerto Rican dude with a screen shop. And I watch him, and he's got his own things going on. But if you got some time and you want to see somebody else who's, bringing up some businesses and doing things to support themselves, that would be a good channel to stop by, subscribe. He'll be happy. He probably has enough subscribers anyway. He probably doesn't need any more, but who's counting? If you enjoy it, Taino Inc. Swing by, like one of his videos, and for me, I'm gonna be here when I'm here. I wish I could give you more. If you're in New York, I'll let you know when you can stop by the 2 locations and say hello to me. And I'm still looking for a couple tax preparers for Depew, and I'm still looking for a couple payroll salespeople outside of New York now, from any state. That would be cool. So if you're out building a book of business, go to KabbalahTax.com/careers and see if any of those careers help you out or you think you'd be a good addition to the team. And here, I believe in paying employees over investors. It's about everybody helping a team, and sometimes it gets lost there are owners that have interests and employees have their own interests, and they're going to be different, right? They're totally different interests, but they can merge somewhere in the middle where there's a happy medium, you know, and that's what I'm about. I would rather share in profits with my employees who are doing all the work than some investors who just put some money up on the table. But see, the thing is sometimes you need the money. I'm in the same boat. I need the money to get the investors, but then you have this juxtaposition where you just, what do you do? And you know, I'm going to stay with people on this one. I'm just going to go about it more slowly, and I believe in the end that it's you and me and other people that make the world go round. Not just the people sitting in the back room with the money. They think they're making the world go round. All they're doing is putting their money up front. They're not putting any action. They're not executing. They're not making it happen. They got the gold, and I'm not saying, I don't know how they got the gold. I don't care about it. But I'm just saying, when they're giving me the gold, or you the gold, they're taking a big piece of your future gold, and they're not really doing nothing but giving you some gold at a very expensive price to do it. So to me, is I would just rather go about it slower. So you're gonna see my ads out all year. I'm gonna keep asking for you people out there who wanna have an opportunity, whatever state you're in. I'm gonna keep talking to you because why not? That's what corporate America does, right? They just keep moving forward no matter what. They make billions upon billions. They don't stop. So I'm gonna be the same way, but I'm just gonna invest in people because that's who I am. And so I think that's it. I'll do the last one without you. You know, I also like this cup too. It says, sometimes you forget that you're awesome. So this is a reminder. And I think for everybody who gets up every day and goes to work, whether you got a family, whatever your situation, everybody's awesome, right? Or else you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if somebody somewhere within your religious or belief structure didn't think you were awesome enough to be here. And despite your problems and your choices, good, bad, or indifferent, you're still here because you're awesome. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching Rambling with Rob. I'm gonna let you know what these things look like when they're done. I gotta get a second coat, and you know, who knows where the channel goes. I'm just gonna keep being me, and hopefully you'll stick by and watch, and we'll see where we go. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great Friday. And have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.